It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Let me button my glaze here. All right, it is showtime. It is Geno Jones showtime. One second. I see the enemy's busy. I just had to step off camera just for a minute. So now listen up. So I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago right about now, 5:31, 5:32, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles, live in L.A. Subscribe, share, screen grab, rip some of the video, make it go viral, like, and binge watch all of my back episodes. And please, by the way, please leave your comments in the comment section. These lights get hot in here, man, right? Wow. Let's see here. Can I do this here? That's what I love about live TV. You know, you can do all that. Yeah. There we go. All right. So today, Thursday, Throwback Thursday on my radio show, Star 997, star997.com. Actually, we have an app now. So you can listen to my radio show Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 o'clock in Chicago, 9 a.m. and 7 a.m. So on your way driving to work, you can check, if you're out there on the 405 or the 5, you can check out the Geno show, radio show. Just using that Star 9, just go to, got an Android, you know, go to the Play Store for the all the iPhone, all the Apple product people. Just the Apple Store, whatever the hell it's called. Just go and download star997.com here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Now, let's kick off today, September 5. Yesterday was B-Day. Happy birthday to the Queen Bee, Beyonce, yesterday. So we gave her a big birthday shout out. I'm sure she is still celebrating it today. But today, September 5th, if you are celebrating a birthday today. Terry Ellis of En Vogue, if I remember correctly, is 60, I think she's 61 today. She's 60 plus for sure. I think 61. And it still, last I saw, still looks good. Black don't crack. So shout out to Terry Ellis of En Vogue. En Vogue, wow, you wouldn't have like Destiny's Child without groups like, so you the evolution from the Supremes, and there were a lot of they call girl groups, and then En Vogue came with a whole new flavor. And shout out to En Vogue and all those ladies. Of course, Terry's birthday is today, but you had Cindy and Dawn and Maxine. They were my girls. They were all like eye candy, like really easy on the eyes, if you understand what I'm saying. So shout out to Terry Ellis doing her thing. And anybody else celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday. If you're watching me live, please leave your comments. Not just leave your comments in the comment section, but you can join the conversation. You can actually, right now, you can start the conversation or a conversation in my chat room when I'm on camera. If you're watching me live, I'm going to shout you out. I'll say hi. You want me to give you a shout out? Shout out you at your job. Maybe you're in the hair salon or in the barber shop, or in the laundromat, maybe watching at home on your television. You could be in the airport at your gate watching on your tablet or your smartphone. Even you could be at work, got your earbud ins, your earbuds, or your headset. But the big headset is a tail, so a lot of times people have those little like earbuds and put them in their ear. So, however you're watching, I appreciate you. Don't forget to spread the word, tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. So October, in about 3 weeks, October, that month, kicking off the month, kicks off the 4th year anniversary of the Geno Jones Show live 5 nights a week. Amazing. We got some big, it's going to be an amazing month. I'm going to bring back some guests from way back in the day. We're just going to kick things off, have a huge celebration. And we got some exciting things for the Geno Jones Show, Geno Media. We're going to do the Geno Jones Show live on location. All that's coming up in year 4 of the Geno Jones Show and a lot more. So just stay tuned. Stick around for that information. You do not want to miss it. Tonight, so Betty Wright had a song back in the day called Tonight is the Night. And tonight is the night if you are a big fan of the National Football League. Yes, the NFL is back tonight. The regular season kicks off in Kansas City. The Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs with number 15. He's a problem. Patrick Mahomes and his crew, Andy Reid and all of his, and Taylor Swift's band, Travis Kelce, all of them. Tonight they play a team that I'm really fond of because I like their head coach a lot. A brother named John Harbaugh. Well, he's not a white brother. John Harbaugh. The Baltimore Ravens with their superstar quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I know he really hadn't beat Patrick Mahomes yet, but Lamar Jackson is bad. Lamar, you just need to do you. Because when you do you, you are unique. Nobody can do what you do when you do what you do, how you do it, and do the best version of you. So Lamar Jackson, and they got his brother Derrick Henry, who's like a physical freak as running back, so it should be a good game. I might fall asleep. 7 o'clock if it starts. Look, note to the NFL. Look, I get it because you want to try to get people out in L.A. on the West Coast time to get home. But look, if you stuck in traffic on the 405, you'll be starting the game at like midnight. Midnight LA time, y'all be starting the game at 3 in the morning on the East Coast. Anybody that lives out in LA on the West Coast, especially the metro area of LA, I don't have to tell you. As much of a nightmare as the Dan Ryan in Chicago or the Kennedy is, or if you're in Atlanta, 75, 85, I-20, New York City, 95, as much as those expressways are a problem, man, it's nothing. Woo, it's nothing like the 405. Just thinking about it is making me sweat. It's nothing like the 405 in LA. Then they got the 405, they got the 710, 610, I-10, 110, the 10, but just make it a little earlier start time. So I don't think kickoff is 7 o'clock because they got a lot of pregame stuff. So I actually think kickoff is around 8 p.m. Eastern time, so it would be 7 o'clock in Chicago, and it would be, I guess, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's 5 o'clock out on the West Coast, out in Los Angeles. So it's all good. So, but tonight is the night, and then on Friday, second game, but then Sunday you got all the rest of the games are on Sunday. So the season officially kicks off, regular season tonight in Kansas City. Like I said, the Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. And Friday night, the Philadelphia Eagles, who might be one of my picks to go to the Super Bowl. Guess I'll get into that in a second. Playing the Green Bay Packers, who a lot of folks are looking at them saying they might be the team coming out of the NFC, because the NFL, you have the National Football Conference and the American Football Conference. And the two conferences make the league, the NFL, just in case you wonder. So, and that game is going to be played in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, a city with the city's population is nearly 15 million, like 14,800,000, something roughly. And then in the metro, so metro, I guess, Sao Paulo, and like all the suburbs, like 20, I think I saw a number, 22 million, 22 million. Just 1 second, please, I'm going to keep talking to you. So that game is going to be on Friday night. So if you're watching me live right now, Friday night, live from Brazil, Sao Paulo. Brazil is one of the places I got to go to. Rio, because all my buddies back in the day went to Rio. One of them brought a wife home, and that didn't work out very well. He sent her ass back. But I digress. So, and then, of course, Sunday, a shout out to the Chicago Bears with problematic ownership. They have got better than the McCaskey family. Way back in the day, I worked back in the mid-'80s. I was in college, and I started off answering phones for the CBS owned and operated TV station in Chicago, WBBM still, WBBM TV, Channel 2. And started off answering phones, became a production assistant, and one of the McCaskey, George Halas is like really the founder of the NFL, one of the founders. So his family, his like grandchildren, now his great-grandchildren. So one of the grandchildren of the McCaskey family, I used to work with. And I don't know if is it the one that runs the Bears, or was it George? I can't remember. I got a friend out in San Francisco named Lathan Hodge. So Lathan's probably watching this episode live, or he'll see it taped. He'll see the recording. So shout out to you, Lathan. Which McCaskey were we working with? He was really cool too. He was a writer, a news writer in the newsroom when we were all there back in the day, the late 80s. You know, coming out of Columbia College, Chicago, my alma mater. Shout out to Columbia College, Chicago. So I digress. So this is the big weekend. Fantasy football, I didn't really fool with, because that's just too much energy. And with my TV show and my media company and my radio station, my radio show, because fantasy football is like 2 full-time jobs if you want to win some money. I think I did it 1 year and I did real good, but I was like, okay, it's just, look, I don't have that time. I don't have that time or energy, because I hate losing more than I love winning, and I love to win. I've won most of the things I've done in life. I've won at the vast majority of them, but I hate losing. I mean, the feeling that I get losing, quote unquote losing, I hate losing more than I love winning. I don't know, it's the Taurus in me, maybe, I guess. just how I'm wired. So shout out to all of your fans. The problematic league with the racist owners, and that's a whole different conversation and a different show. It'd be nice to get some black ownership. Black people, the league is like, what, 70+%? At least somewhere 70-75% black. Not too many head coaches, no black owners. We'll have that conversation on a different day, but that's just real talk. So shout out to all the football fans. I know you are all excited. I'm happy, but it's in America, football, pro football, and college football is a religion. For real. Folks will fight you. Like, shout out to them neurotic-ass Dallas Cowboy fans. Not all of them, but the vast majority of them are, man, they won't, fight you. And the thing is, in certain cities, like here in Charleston, South Carolina, because they've never had an NFL team, and usually back in the day, if you're like a certain age, if you're like 50 plus, back in the day, there was a time where only certain teams you would see on TV. This is way before, Sunday Ticket and the NFL Red Zone and all that. You didn't have that. There were certain teams, like the late 70s, going into the 80s. You had the Steelers, and you had the Cowboys on. Now, like in Chicago, they would show the regional game if it wasn't blacked out. So you see the Bears games, but whatever that national game was on, ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox, a lot of times it was the Dallas Cowboys, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers, Oakland Raiders, and then a lot of times you would have the Cowboys, the Redskins, because you had those. You see a lot of the Redskins, like the early '80s, '70s, but it was really. So that's how a lot of Cowboy people grew up. They were Cowboy fans because if they're a certain age, 50 plus, they grew up, and then like the late 70s, the Steelers and the Cowboys. Really, the late 70s, the Steelers, but the mid 70s, the Cowboys. That was a whole, Roger Staubach back in the day, and Tony Dorsett, and Drew Pearson, and Tony Hill, and all those guys. Grant Hill's dad played for the Cowboys back in the day. They had a brother named Dwayne Thomas who was way ahead of his time. And then the Steelers were good in the late 70s, and they kind of start falling off in the early 80s, and then the 49ers, because I was a big 49er fan back in the day. But it's amazing, these Cowboy fans, dude, they'll want to fight you. I'm like, first of all, y'all are not on the team. And, you know, the dude that owned the team with his racist ass, Jerry Jones, this ain't breaking news, not at all. Even Cowboy fans know Jerry Jones is old racist ass. I mean, they even got pictures of him, like, yelling at black folks. You can Google it, true story, in Arkansas. He went to high school, and they were trying to integrate his high school, and they found pictures of Jerry Jones, like, yelling, you know, like all the rest of these folks was yelling the N-word. I say, well, you don't know if he did that. Well, if he's out with a whole group of folks and they yelling the N-word, there's probably a good chance he may have yelled it once or twice himself. I digress. But that racist ass owner, he ain't the only one, not at all. There's somebody like more chill with it. But look, they've all supported Trump. They've donated money to his campaigns, both of them. I digress, but you can find that out for yourself. But it's a fact. You can Google that. But back to these neurotic Cowboy fans, black folks, not just here, all over, but they're like want to fight. I'm like, what? You fighting for a team that you have no ownership in, and the owner don't give a damn about you or nobody that look like you or me, not at all, with his racist ass. Jerry Jones ain't cutting you a check, and you out here like fighting. You know, well, I love the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys, but I don't like Jerry Jones. But then y'all, you know, Steeler fans are not quite as bad. Not quite as bad. Now, Eagle fans, Philadelphia Eagle fans, they just got some gangster thuggish. It's just, yeah, they don't travel. You don't have as many Cowboys. They're not like the Cowboys. So the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Raiders, because they've been in Oakland, L.A., now they're in Las Vegas. And they got to throw in those cheeseheads, those Packer fans. Now, they're not as neurotic because they have at least won consistently, a little more later, not many more. Cowboys ain't won a Super Bowl in, 2.5 decades? 95? I think, was it 95? Something like that. 96? I digress. But big season for the NFL. All right. So, hey, shout out to everybody watching. You can join my mother, who is my executive producer, number one fan, Mary Dixon. She has started the conversation. I love you too, Mother. She started the conversation in the chat room. No, this is not Sports Center, ESPN. I'm not trying to impersonate or take Stephen A. Smith's job. I'm good. I could do that and be great at it, but we're just a well-rounded entertainer. We can do it all. TV host, radio show host, comedian, actor, motivational speaker. You name it, we got it covered. So let me shift gears. Let me make a hard pivot here before I get out of here. Once again, for everybody who is watching, please say hi. Just where it says chat, I have a live chat room. It is open when I'm on camera. So you could just jump in there, type your name, and let me know where you're watching. Say, hey, listen, this is, say, hey, this is Angela. Hey, this is Alexi. Hey, this is Krista. Hey, this is Stephanie. Whatever your name is. Hey, this is Tamika. Whatever. Just let me know where you're watching. I'll say hi, shout you out. If you're in the hair salon, nail salon, wherever you might be. It is all good. Now, I got to recap. I want to go back, hard pivot before I get out of here. This horrible story outside of there was a high school in Georgia, a city about 45 miles outside of Atlanta. 2 teachers, a woman who was a math teacher. There was another teacher who was also, he was one of the, he was like you got the head coach, then you got what they call coordinators. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. So this coach was the defensive coordinator. That means he's the head coach for the defense. So you got a head coach for the offense that runs the offense, a head coach that runs the defense, since we've been talking about football, since the NFL is officially back, the regular season kicks off tonight. And then you got the head coach that oversees everything. So this was a coach, defensive coordinator, who was shot and killed, and you had 2 young men who were murdered by a 14-year-old kid. One African-American young man shot and murdered, and then another young man looked like a Hispanic young man, Hispanic surname. Now, one of the horrible things outside of this murder by a 14-year-old that somehow walked into school, left home, left the house, I don't know if his mother, because I thought I heard some story, the mother may have tried to call the school. So did you not see your son leaving, going to school with an AR style weapon, like an AR-15 style long gun? So, couldn't put that in a backpack. So how does he get from the house to school? On a bus? I can't imagine he was on a school bus with an AR-15. You can't hide that. And I can't imagine his mother, who took him to school. How does that happen? But here's one of the tragic parts, was there were some news media outlets who showed a picture of one of the victims, showed a picture of the black teenager, the young black male teenager who was murdered. And they showed a picture in him, and I wish I could name check the exact media. I don't know if it was local there in the Atlanta area or national or online. But the picture, this news outlet said that the young man that was murdered, the black kid, was the shooter. Now, obviously, they had to correct that. Well, first of all, when I didn't see this kid's picture on TV, I knew that he was white. Because I've been in the media too long, and I know how they operate. If a black kid does, first of all, it's not an opinion. This is a statistical. Just look at the data. The majority of young men, like under 25, especially these school shooters, in the last 25 years, from Columbine, there's so many, I can't even keep track of all of them. Especially school shooters, but malls, like the young races that went to the supermarket in Buffalo in a black neighborhood. You had this demon that went in the Mother Emanuel Church and killed those 9 beautiful brothers and sisters right after Bible study. They invited this demon in, stranger. He sat with them, let him sit with them. They read scripture. They prayed for him. After Bible study was over, they prayed with him and for him. And his gratitude was to execute, to murder 9 men and women, beautiful souls in the Mother Emanuel Church. But the point I'm trying to make is that the vast majority of these mass shooters, especially in high schools, are young white males. It's just fact. So when I didn't see the young man's picture on the news, I'm like, oh, he's white. Because if he would have been black, I guarantee you would have saw a full screen. As a matter of fact, that picture would not have come off your screen. It would still be on your screen. It would have been what they call a full screen. The only thing you see on the screen, which is why it's called a full screen shot, would have been a picture of this black kid if he was the actual shooter instead of being the victim. But I just, I got to go back to that because there's so many things about this that disturbs me. And so many of these politicians, this whole MAGA cult, they've been bought off by the gun manufacturers. And I had some ideas about how we could deal with that. But here's the problem. Because when you hear these politics, first of all, thoughts and prayers, that hadn't done much. And I believe in prayer. I believe in God. I absolutely believe in prayers. But somebody should have been praying that this wouldn't happen. But it didn't stop this sick, demented teenager who apparently was on the FBI's radar because he was at some other school like a year before, making threats that he wanted to commit some type of mass shooting at school. And he left that school and somehow wound up a new student in a new school. And to kick off the school year, he goes to school with an AR-15 style weapon, long gun. And he murders 2 teachers and 2 students. And then when I also heard that the shooter was in custody, because one of the first reports that came out, it said the shooter was neutralized. So if you hear the shooter is neutralized, that's like a really nice sanitized way of saying they shot and killed him or her. But it's like never, rarely ever a her when it comes to these mass school shootings. They're young men, and predominantly, like the more than 3/4 of them, probably somewhere, you can do the data, somewhere in the 80 to 90% range, high 80s, 90%, are young white men. See, when they said that he was in custody, I was like, oh, I knew he wasn't black. He went into a school with an AR-15 style long gun weapon, killed 2 teachers and 2 students, and they didn't shoot him and kill him, and he had this deadly weapon. He wasn't black. I knew that. He wasn't black. So that answered that. But here's my thing to all these politicians, the blah, blah, blah. And, it's not the right time. The governor of Georgia talking about Brian Kemp. Well, no, yesterday, now's not the time to talk about, stronger gun restrictions. Dude, yes, it is absolutely the time. And miss me with that America, our number one priority are our children. Bullshit, it is not. It's not. You know how I know it's not? Because you do know. If you don't know, the number one killer, the number one cause of death for children in America in 2024. Now, when you think of children tragically dying young, you might think of children with some horrible form of cancer or car accident. No. The number one cause of death for children in this country is gun violence. Number one. And if I'm correct, you can call me, you can correct me, you can jump in the chat room and correct me, or you can just in the comments. But if I do my homework, and I'm pretty confident that more children in America die from gun violence than children who die from childhood cancer and car accidents combined. All the children who die from cancer, which is horrible and tragic, and all the kids who tragically die in car crashes, and you add all those together, and still double that amount, twice as many of children die from gun violence than die from cancer and car accidents combined. But children are our number one priority, which is bullshit. Now, you might remember a story in Rochester, Michigan. So a couple of years ago, there was a family by the last name of Crumley. I think Jennifer was her name, and I think her husband, his name started with a J. Doesn't matter. Mr. and Mrs. Crumley, son, shot up a school. Rochester, Michigan, killed people. His mom and dad, well, he got time. I think he got more like 15, 20 years. But about a year ago, his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Crumley, they got 15 years each, I think, for manslaughter. Because it shows they were responsible for him getting this gun, and there was evidence they knew that he was a threat. I say, cases like this, charge the parents. So yesterday the child got charged, the teenager who murdered the 2 teachers and the 2 students got charged with murder, charged the parents as an accessory to murder. Now, that might sound harsh. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And it's got to be a level of responsibility because this kid he's a teenager. You can't be afraid of your children. You brought him in this world. You can't allow him to get a weapon. He's living in your house. He ain't paying rent. We can't do anything. He can't take care of himself. He can't go out and he can't sign a contract, so he can't get an apartment. He don't have any money to buy a house. Even if he had the money, he couldn't sign a contract at 14. There's nowhere in America where a 14-year-old can enter into a contract without an adult. It can't happen. And at 14, who got him the gun? You had to know about this. And I'm a parent. Now, some folks may be watching, well, Geno, no, it's something you have to be accountable. And a 14-year-old living in your house, you are accountable. And I understand how tough it can be working 2 jobs. Still, there's no bigger priority than making sure that this child is got some sense of, you got some guidance. You're responsible. That's just the bottom line. How you in the house? What did he go over a friend's house? You gotta know who their friends are. How did this kid leave the house, got this AR-15 style weapon, got to school? I don't know if he walked, and if he's walking, but a lot of these states like Georgia, it's an open carry state. So legally, you can openly carry any weapon. And like even in South Carolina, you don't have to get it registered, which is backwards. Do you all want people? You want people to die. When they pass these laws, even police officers, a lot of them was like, this is crazy, because this made their job even more dangerous. But see, white kids will get privileges that a black teenager, a black male teenager wouldn't get. A black male teenager couldn't. I don't care. Here in South Carolina or Georgia, I don't give a damn about it being an open carry state. If that would have been a black teenager openly carrying an AR-15 style weapon, they probably would have shot his ass. And worse, definitely, they'd have found some reason to lock him up or stop him. I guarantee you. But there's got to be some way. There's got to be some way to hold somebody responsible. Parents, at the end of the day, you're responsible. A 14-year-old living in your house, you're responsible. You feeding him, you putting clothes on his back, shoes on his feet. You got shelter, a roof over his head, paying the electric bill, the mortgage, the rent, all that. Getting around in your car, even if he's not driving, you got to take him. You paying the insurance and car note in most cases. Even if the car is paid for, you got to still insure it. He's not paying any bills. Where do you get the money to even buy this weapon? Those AR-15 style weapons are like right around $1,000. And then you got the ammunition. Where is he getting his money? Come on, man. I don't know the family dynamic. I don't know if the father's in there. I don't know, but I did hear something. I think the mother somehow was concerned, and I think she tried to alert the police. There's no way. Now, you can say this is unfair, but listen, a child living in your house, a teenager living in your house, at the end of the day, we as parents, you are accountable. You are. At least until the child is 18. And even then, if they living in your house, you got to have some ground rules. You have to. There's certain things that you would. I'm a grown ass man. If I moved in to my mother's apartment. Shame on me. But if I did, there's still some things that I couldn't do in her house. Being a grown-ass man, damn near 6 decades on this planet. Come on. You got to charge the parent. Teenagers commit these type of crimes. Where was the gun? Was the gun not locked up? Just like what happened with the Crumleys, the husband and wife, whose son murdered kids at the school, Rochester, Michigan, a couple years back. They're sitting in jail now, 15 years each. I hate to say it. You got to I'd say charge the mother and the dad. Now you say, well, wait a minute, what if the dad wouldn't? That's his son. That's just me. But you got to do something to get people's attention. And yesterday I said, the gun manufacturers, at the end of the day, listen, they market weapons to young people. You say, well, you know, the gun's not the problem, it's the person with the gun. Yeah, but it's the gun manufacturers are doing everything they can to market weapons to kids. So if you really, since especially these MAGA cult members, which you never go for it, but you know what would also slow this down some? A lot of these mass murders, these mass shootings, especially in schools, but anyway, churches, in supermarkets, movie theaters, start charging the gun makers. Whoever made the gun that was used to kill those 2 teachers and 2 students, you should be able to, the families of the victims, the parents of those 2 kids that died, and the family, the survivors of the coach and the math teacher, their families should be able to sue the gun makers. Now I know they can file a civil suit with this young man's family. Great, sue their ass, but sue the gun makers. Or, I'd say and, not or, and on top of it. So it'll be and, do both. The both is, okay, you want to, look, Second Amendment, I get it, but you got to understand the Second Amendment comes with responsibilities, consequences, and repercussions for the consequences of you owning a gun and not being responsible. You got folks, oh, I got 1,000, got 100 guns, 200. For every weapon that you own, you have to take out an insurance policy. Like a car or a house. And since that gun can be more lethal, especially these AR-15 style weapons, you can kill a lot more people quicker than a car. So they should be required to insure every weapon they have. And really, it's a high-ass insurance policy? Yeah. Because this weapon is more dangerous than a car. Yes, you can kill somebody with a car. But the amount of people who are killing people with cars, come on. It's not even part of the conversation compared to the amount of people who are killed, especially with guns, period. But at least these assault, they should ban the assault weapons. I say, pass a law. All right, you can own as many guns as you want. But really, it should have a limit. But if not, fine, you have to, each weapon has to be insured and have a penalty attached to it. If it's not insured, we go after your finances, or have a penalty where if the gun is not insured and if it's stolen and if it's used in a crime, you get charged too and can go to jail as an accessory. But man, people's gun, it would mean that people would be a lot more responsible. They would start really locking these weapons up, and so many people wouldn't be so careless and reckless as gun owners. And if you talk to a significant number of people who own firearms and are responsible firearms owners, they'll be like, yeah, you're going to own weapons, you got to lock them up. You got to be responsible with them. Can't just have them out in the open where, the kids or anybody can get to them, where they can be stolen. No. There comes a responsibility with being a firearm owner. Full stop, period. So that's my take for today. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Tell everybody, or as my man Nelly would say, tell everybody to subscribe and share and screen grab. Screen grab, rip some of the video, rip some of this monologue you just heard and seen. Make it go viral. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I am on live right here on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday live right here on my YouTube channel. 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles and on the West Coast right here on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. So October, the month of October marks my 4th year anniversary. Huge celebration, and I have a new subscription goal to get 1,000 new subscribers on top of the ones I already have, an additional 1,000 new subscribers, because my media company, Geno Media, so I'm a YouTube partner now, but that will allow me to go to a whole nother level where I can start getting them real YouTube, get that YouTube bag, if you know what I'm saying. As the kids say, get that bag full of money from YouTube. So 1,000 new subscribers will put me in a whole new level. So thank you in advance for spreading the word like a good virus. Spread the word. Must-see TV right here. You love it. The Geno Jones Show. Love it, like it, hate it. If I piss you off, that's fine. You can leave your comment in the comment section, but make sure you tune in and watch it live, or go back and binge watch it as many times as you want. Binge watch it and cuss at the TV, whatever, take a sledgehammer, tear up your own damn TV. You paid for it. And then get a new one and watch it and do what you want to do. That's what a MAGA cult. Get mad at. Look, y'all can cuss me out, call me whatever. The confines of your home, you can call me whatever you want to call me. But just make sure you watch it live at 6:30, or you binge watch all my back episodes. But I'd say, just tread lightly. You see me in person, and just call me Mr. Jones or Geno. Right, just be careful with that. We just word for the wise, all right? Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. He is a master barber, and the official barber and hairstylist. Check him out on Instagram, on IG, Kel B Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones is the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out. Future fashion designer superstar. Check her out. LX.NCL_. LX.NCL_. Shout out to Mr. Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram, on IG, in the little search magnifying glass icon. Just type in Mario Uomo. Now, Uomo is an Italian name, so it's pronounced Uomo. Sounds like a W. But Uomo is U-O-M-O. You like umbrella, O like Oprah, M like Mary, O like Oprah. Mario, M-A-R-I-O. U-O-M-O, Mario Uomo. And also Flyball the Store. Check all that out on Bruce Gage's Instagram page. Thank you for watching live, everybody. Make sure you make this episode go viral. Copy and paste the link in an email, in a text message. Share it on everybody's page that follows you, or you follow all your fans or friends or family. Share it on every platform, from Facebook to Instagram, Threads, with X or Twitter, all those platforms. And right here on YouTube, create a YouTube short and make it go viral. So Friday, we kick off the weekend. TGIF, my weekend review. Thank God it's going to be a Friday. 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Chicago, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles, You and me and you. In the meantime, if you missed any of this episode, go back and binge watch this and all of my episodes. Once again, make sure you tell everybody to subscribe and share this episode and screen grab it. Leave your comments for this episode. You heard what I had to say in the monologue. Give me your comments. Give me your opinion. Leave your comments in the comment section for this and every episode. Wednesday night's monologue was fire also. So if you missed last night's show, make sure you go back and binge watch that after you watch this episode. If you missed any of it, I see some folks kind of tuned in halfway through. Thank you for coming in. We'll see you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 Chicago, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles, Friday afternoon. Thanks for watching, everybody. I love you.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.